You sat up, and then you changed the camera.
Messed it all up.
Look at it.
Stop. That's why I don't like doing this either. Because I be laughing. I be laughing the most.
Yeah.
Ready?
Oh, my bad. Hold on. All right, y'all ready?
Whew. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give Kahalo Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It's your boy Apiyak, coming to do this class, this little class on prophecy and the value of it. We over here in Long Beach, having a good old time with the Opium. They kind of messed up my intro, but it ain't nothing but a day, really. Brotherhood, we do this. But look,
Sure.
Shalom, Shar. You just gotta watch us on a replay. It's good for our view count. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna go into a little bit of prophecy today. And it's really the importance of the value of prophecy. That's really what it is. Us having prophecy is it's our ace in the hole. It's the trump card. I've seen Israelites live in person that really didn't have a good argument, but they go into that prophecy, and they be really trained up in the word, in the things that have already happened, and in being able to explain their position on the things to come. You see, Christianity doesn't have that because they have to stay in their little pockets of Christian rhetoric and doctrine because, you start reading some of these prophecies, there's no way that Christian dogma can stand up to it. So that's what I'm going to get into, just a little bit of prophecy, make some points, and see how y'all feel about it. Let me get Revelation 19. I got my co-host Tamayim. He's gonna read for me today. He's our newest member in Long Beach. That's not suspended.
Yes, he is.
Oh, sheesh, brother's suspended. We ain't even got no good help over here. Y'all looking to put in your application, let me tell you. Long Beach Sicari is taking applications. I just want y'all to know this.
I don't know why Shaq ain't reading.
Yeah, we got a brother. We at his house. He don't really want to participate. He's that's a shadow somewhere. Lord. He was in a wrestling match over the weekend. This is a lot going on, bro. So, yeah, we love our brothers. All right, read that.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
So, that's John. He's about to bow down to the angel that's revealing these things to him. And the angel is telling him, nah, I have the same testimony I carry the same testimony that you have. So this is the spirit of prophecy, what we teach, the testimony of Yahweh Shai, right? We teach the kingdom, we teach salvation, right? We teach mercy. We teach all the things that are beneficial to our people. And as long as we can stay in this walk and we can stay righteous and we keep this faith, things will be revealed to us, The Christian church says Jesus. They say the Bible, but they don't really teach Jesus, right? They don't teach Yahweh Shai. They don't teach his message. They always take it out of context. They always eisegete cut it into small sections, right? They say Bible, they say biblical, but they don't really teach Bible, So us as Israelites, we coming out here to be a lamp for our people. And we have that testimony of Yahushua. We have the spirit of prophecy. So when you wanna get these prophetic breakdowns, go to the leaders in Israel, because that's what we're called to do. You know. Let me just easily. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 real quick. This is how easy it is. All throughout the book, this is how the Bible works. You know, the Most High declared the end from the beginning. You know, and that's the God that we serve. He's the one revealing all these things. Start that first verse.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 from the top. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
That quick. Prophecy, right? If you will do something, something will happen. That's the God who gave us the law. That's how he taught. So I'm saying, if you do this, this will happen. He's always telling us the outcome well before it comes to pass. That's why we should fear him. See what I'm saying? A lot of people fear these false prophets, and they say a lot, but the stuff they say never comes to pass. It sounds good when you hear it, and it might inspire you to follow them down the path, but there's no fruition in what they're saying. They're just saying stuff, and they're cultivating people like lambs to the slaughter. We serve a God that tells us, if you do this, this will happen. You know what I'm saying? From one point to another point, he gives us a clear description on what to do and how to do things. And that's how he deals with us. So now we're going to go on the second Ezra. That's your heart. So I got that apocrypha. The second Ezra 2. We're going to get it from the top.
This is the book of second Ezra, chapter 2 from the top. Thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments by my servants, the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsels.
See, the word that the prophet brings is the commands from God. He talked to us through his prophets, right? And I know the point that he's making in this verse is to say that these stiff-necked and rebellious Israelites don't be hearkening. But I'm here just to show how that's how we receive counsel from the Lord. That's how we get instruction. He commands us through his prophets. You don't see the Most High coming down in 2023 telling niggas what to do, thundering and lightnings, and everybody running, talking about he gonna kill us. You know what I'm saying? He has his word transmitted through his men. He sends his servants to tell us what to do, right? And since Moses went up and got the word from the Most High, he delivered it to the people. Moses told us there will come one like unto their brethren, and we should get the word from his mouth, right? We should hearken to what he says. This is in the law. So we know from the beginning to the end, the same way that the Most High has dealt with us is the same way he deals with us. He sends men to tell us what's up, to tell us what's going on. I grew up listening to, people teach different doctrinal lessons just growing up in the Americas. But the most I've ever learned biblically and then historically pertaining to biblical breakdowns has come from the men of the Lord. So I'm saying that's who I learned from now, the men of the Lord primarily. chief priest, Eleazar Baloy, right? He's the leader of this organization. The word comes down through him frequently. I've gotten plenty of messages and understanding of this Bible through him, and definitely, his number 2 right-hand man, Deacon. You know what I'm saying? Deacon Chicago Young. These brothers have taught me a lot, just tuning into their lives or being present with them talking and bringing out the word. So I know for a fact, and I'm a firm believer, that the word comes through the men of the Lord. So I'm saying, the next verse.
Verse 2, the mother that bare them saith unto them, go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken.
Now watch. Read the next verse. Just read it. Read it through. I'm going to go back to that.
Verse 3, I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness I have lost you. For ye have sinned before the Lord your God, and done that thing that is evil before him.
Say that word. We have done that evil before him. And it's saying, when it said, now read number 2 again. Read 2 again about the mother.
Verse 2, the mother that bare them saith unto them, go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken.
See, that mother is Jerusalem. So I'm saying, put that in Galatians 4. Verse 26.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
See, that's because everybody that was ever born came out of Jerusalem. No, I'm just playing. That's that was they were talking about contrasting Ishmael to Israel. You know what I'm saying? Is the Jerusalem that is above is the mother of us all, right? So that showed. I was just showing you that to show how, in different various contexts, our land is referred to as our mother. So when you read in back here in 2nd Ezra 2 and verse 2, it's going to tell you. You got a question?
Yeah. Someone had told me that that verse is showing how. Read the verse again.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra.
No, Galatians 4.
Oh, Galatians. Salakia. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
The Korean church believes that that's the mother God.
The mother God?
The mother God.
Oh, is that the one they baked the cakes to the Queen of Heaven?
I have no idea.
So I don't know what they mean, but why would they say that?
Listen, Genesis 1, made man in our image. He
So
and she, them.
How they made the man in their image?
Listen, did they get to know them? No.
That's pretty deep. I wouldn't run with that breakdown.
But that's what they've done. They took those scriptures and turned it into, mother God.
Right.
And Jerusalem, it's the mother of us all. You know what I'm saying?
That's that day they ran up on you.
Yeah, at Walmart. Yeah.
So are they saying that God came and procreated with the land?
No, it's two. It's God the Father and God the Mother.
But she's still the land, or is the God is in Jerusalem?
That's what I'm saying. You don't get it, bro.
I don't.
You need to go study.
That's deep.
I can't. They cut you on that street.
Hey, I can't deal with them. They're on a level. Get that verse 22 in that same Galatians 4.
This is the book book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 22. For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman.
So, you know, Abraham actually had many more children, right? But it's just saying right here initially, it's comparing two children of Abraham's, right? The son of Hagar and then the son of Sarah, right? So the one by the bondmaid is Ishmael's mother, and then the bondmaid is Ishmael's mother, so the one by the bondmaid is Ishmael. The other by the free woman would be us, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, Israel, right? Keep reading.
It's verse 23. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise.
Boom. Because not only Sarah was promised a child in her old age, right? She was thought to be barren. She was barren. The Most High opened up her womb. Boom. She had a seed unto Abraham, right? Read.
Verse 24. Which things are in allegory, for these are the two covenants. The one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Hagar.
So they're comparing his one wife Hagar to the covenant that came from when we first received the law, right? Read.
Verse 25. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which now is, and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
So that's not talking about a mother God, and that's why we really don't respect Koreans who teach the Bible, let alone, Koreans. But, this is what we do. We go into this Bible, that was dope because that made the point I was saying. These people just come out here and then they just read a little piece. Those Koreans didn't even read this chapter. That's amazing. They wanted to argue somebody infringes. They couldn't even look to see the fringes and be like, damn, he might know something. See what I'm saying? They just start talking about mother gods and
hella disrespectful.
Crazy. It's madness. But that's what we have to deal with these days. We have to realize this is where we at. You know what I'm saying? So always walk with your chin up when you're studying this Bible, when you're congregating, when you're living lawful, and you know you had a faith in Yahushua. Because some of you brothers who might run across this video, y'all don't believe Yahushua exists or whatever you believe. Hey, I would love to have you. I would love to have you call in one of these days. Some brothers invited themselves to our class just recently at camp. I figured they would be here tonight, But who knows? They might be an audience. If y'all here, you know what we do. But this is what we do. We break these scriptures down. We go into it because that's what we're called to do. We prophesy, even if it's to the wind when nobody's out there. Matter of fact, let me get that. Jeremiah 28:28. Yep. I was gonna get smart. Hey, Mama Show.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against the great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Look, we're just following after the footsteps of our elders and our leaders who came before us through the times. And now that this spirit is being placed back on our people, we get right into the swing of things. We get right into the motion. You know what I'm saying? Because we prophesy against countries and kingdoms and nations, of war and evil, right? You don't hear that in these churches. You're hearing prophecies of your season. And if you sow a little, you're gonna get in abundance. That's all I ever hear of prophecy is in abundance. Or some Christian witch doctor, he gonna come heal you. You know, he gonna tell you put your leg straight and he gonna make your leg grow in front of you. It's a neat trick. I've seen it done right before my own eyes as a kid. Can't explain how they did it, but that's the power they have. It's all tricknology, you know. They're weak magicians. What we come through with is this word, man. We have a word of prophecy with us. See, we prophesy against nations for real. Get that Ezekiel 38. Let's get Ezekiel 38 real quick. Let's get it.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, from the top. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and the prophecy against him.
So Gog, you know, Gog is what we would call over there in Russia, right? So it's saying prophesy against Gog, right? The land of Magog, right? The guy who's the leader of this land, right? Keep reading.
And verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks unto thy jaws.
See, this is a prophecy of war, right? This is the Iron Curtain. The state Russia is in now looks a lot different than Russia 12 years ago, right? Russia was still in a very cold war 12 years ago. Nowadays, Russia has been moving in a manner that is more representative of who they were known, of how they were known during their ages of the Iron Curtain and Mother Russia, right? When they were really tearing up stuff, when they were going to war, when they were being in the USSR, right? In a Soviet state, right?
Now, Slovakia.
No.
That's why I told y'all should watch Tetris.
Huh?
Because that's where the game came from. The USSR. You know what I'm saying? And it was a communist country. So the dude that made it, he wasn't making no money off of it. He couldn't win off of that. You know what I'm saying? And then how everybody involved tried to swindle their way into the whole base of it. You know what I'm saying? And then, but the dude that made Tetris, he eventually was brought to America to live here. You know what I'm saying?
It worked out for him.
Yeah.
In Babylon.
Yeah.
Because this is the land of the merchants. I mean, if you brothers out there in Zimbabwe, where y'all be always sending your phone requests. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can come this way. Y'all get some bread. Let me tell you, this is the land all the merchants love, America. This is where you sell your stuff, right? The guy couldn't make it in his nation, but he sure made it out here because that's how it's set up. When they drop this mark, it's gonna be a lot of people to take this mark, and they're not even gonna think twice about it. You know how when you read the Surgeon General warnings on cigarettes, like you just read it like, damn, you smoke cigarettes. It said this is gonna do all these bad things to you. It's gonna be the same way with that mark. I'm pretty sure they're gonna give you a whole list of side effects, and people aren't gonna care because all they're thinking about is groceries and whatever famine and whatever problems is going on in America, they'll be willing to take that mark. Babylon is a whore, But keep reading.
And all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them, clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with 3 bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
So yeah, they're gonna be armed to the teeth, right? They're gonna be back in their state, armed to the teeth. Right now, they're launching energy deals, right? They're preparing for war. They're trying to use tactics to crash the dollar, right? They just did this big energy deal. The first deal closed with the yuan. We see what's going on in the world. Russia's coming back to that state. They got that hook in their jaw, and they coming back. Shalom, Ali Yashai. You are our fearless leader.
That's my bad, man. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Hit that. Keep reading.
Verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
So you're gonna have some African countries, you're gonna have some Western European Eastern Bloc countries, right? All getting together to join in to this farce. Go.
Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, Salakia, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
Now watch. So when this war starts kicking off, you got to understand Russia is going to be one of the prominent, like really the premier prominent figure leading this push, right? That's a prophecy of war. Before we get too sidetracked, let's go back to Second Esdras. But I wanted to make that point going into Jeremiah 28. We prophesy war and death because that's what a lot of prophecy leads up to. We teach a prosperity doctrine too, but it's a whole lot of death that got to come first. You know what I'm saying? Babylon has to be destroyed. There has to be a world's war. A lot of things have to happen before we can say we're going to be able to get our rest. We're going to be able to relax. It'll be a long while before these things are these places in this world is suitable for us. Right now, we're prophesying what really has to happen. 2/3 of our people have to die. There has to be horror and destruction and famine and all this madness that has to take place before we can have a Christian pulpit prosperity doctrine or a prosperity gospel. He used in verse 3.
This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 2, verse 3.
Salaki, get to it then. Get to it.
This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 2, verse 2. The mother that bare them said unto them, Go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken.
So yeah, the land is saying, y'all gotta go. See, I'm a widow. I'm forsaken, right? Now that's the land telling us, adios. See you next time. Sorry about your luck, right? Let's get that Isaiah 50. For the time.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 50 from the top. Thus saith the Lord, where is the bill of your mother's divorcement, whom I have put away? Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? Behold, for your iniquities I have ye sold yourselves, and for your transgressions is your mother put away?
See, the land is saying y'all gotta go because we sold ourselves out of the land through our iniquity, right? Our behavior caused us to be taken out of the land. And this is all prophecy. See, the reason it was on us is because in Deuteronomy 28, when we read, matter of fact, get that Deuteronomy 27 and 26. See, in Babylon, a lot of people have the mentality that since we all messed up, God is such a mean old God. Now, I'm not saying Yahweh's not a mean old God. What I'm saying is he's not wrong. I'm saying Yahweh is perfect. He gave us a law that is perfect. We made an agreement. We chose to be where we at. Foolish as we look in our folly and in our current state, we chose to be here.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 26. Cursed be he that confirmeth not all the words of this law to do them. And all the people shall say, Amen.
Right? And we agreed to the law that we received. Moses brought us a law. We agreed to it. Now watch, let's go to 28 real quick. Let's get the first verse.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, from the top. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
We agreed to that. Get 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
We agreed to that, right? Give verse 46. Get 45. Get 45. Read 45 and get 46. Let's do it like that.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee, and he shall be put upon thee.
No. See where it says which he commanded thee? Read that again. Stop right there.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, and that till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
So we agreed to that, right? Now, read the next verse.
And they say, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
See, that's a prophecy, right? How it went into this shall happen, that shall happen, right? That's prophecy. We agreed to this law. We agreed that these things were going to happen to us. It's our fault that we sold ourselves out the land, right? We being punished for something we agreed to. It wasn't the Most High. The Most High didn't do that. You have to understand that. But that's what the onus is really on us to come back to these law, statutes, and commandments, really. And that's how we get up out of here. That's what we teach, because that's also prophecy, right? Just get it real quick. Apocalypse Baruch 2 and 30 real quick. Let's just do it real quick. We have to make a conscious effort to walk towards our God. Without prophecy, we could do anything. We could be anything. We could be as ambiguous as Hinduism. We could believe in karma and dharma. If you do good, it come back. If you do bad, it come back. There were prophets that were good men that were in captivity and died in captivity, right? Right now in the world, there's wicked niggas with Basquiat hairdos, and their life is put together pretty good. So you have to understand that, karma and dharma isn't as powerful as the Most High and His will be done. See, His will be done, thus saith the Lord, concepts like that, you can't beat that. That's where it's at. You ready? Let's get it.
This book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves.
See that? That's prophecy. It's not saying they might remember themselves. They shall remember themselves. See, in the land of our captivity, we're here remembering ourselves. We rocking fringes, we got the brew drip for you. If that's how you do it. I've seen brothers though with 4 different colored tassels. Whatever you have to do to live lawful, you're remembering yourself. Hey, Shalom, Return of the King. We're gonna bring it out. You know what I'm saying? Because we talk Bible. I don't know what the church house is doing, but when you deal with us, we just gonna go into scripture and make it make sense, right? Give me that real quick. Nehemiah 8. Because that was the example that was set before us. If you break the example, if you break the protocol, if you break if you break the design, then you're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I can get up here and tell y'all, hey, just sold a little to Sicari, hit that Cash App. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get it back. I'm not saying not to hit the Cash App, but I'm saying, you might not pay a bill. They say alms cover a multitude of sins. You know what I'm saying? You wanna sow some money and get it back, pay your tithes. See how that work? 8, yeah. Let's go.
This book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verse 8. So they read in a book in the law of God distinctly, and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading.
That's all we do. We read the word, we make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Brother once said that when we was out there talking to some what were they, Mormons, little Mormons, and he said, well, make it make sense. And then a light kind of flashed over my head. It dawned on me like, oh yeah, we just, when we talk to them, whatever we do, we just got to make it make sense because they can't. You know what I'm saying?
That's my book and chapter to go to for them camp haters.
Yeah, oh yeah, because they set up.
Yeah, who gonna make it make sense?
Yeah, that's right.
And it says brothers to his left, brothers to his right, and he read
right? Straight like that in front of the water gate. Yes, sir. And that's what we do. We go out to the chief place of concourse and we bring out this word and we make it make sense. That's what we were commanded to do. And if we're not coming out with the law and telling our people their sins, then we bring out prophecy, right? The law is perfect. If we can all get down with this law, we'll be all right. That's a fact. That's a promise. But we not only out there bringing out the law for our people, we're actually reeling them in with this prophecy. It's provocative. It make you listen. Sometimes it sting them in their chest when they hear this prophecy. It's crazy our people don't want to hear the destruction of the person that got them in chains, whether it be physical chains or mental chains, because some of our people right now are physically being held captive, right? We're the majority in the prison industrial complex, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? And then some of us are living our lives and frolicking with the unclean beasts. And guess what? We don't know that we have chains on our minds. And we love rolling around in the filth with our enemies. So whether you be physically captive or you be just mentally captive, you're still a captive. And we out here to bring freedom to our people, to get them up out of the hands of their oppressor. Let's get back to what was that? Isaiah 50. That's what it is. I just wanted that first verse though. So lucky guys, I'll be seeing you with the hand. I'll be like, oh, I'm looking at the screen too much. He trying to tell me look at the camera. You know, Salaki. No, get one.
This is book of Isaiah, chapter 50 from the top. Thus saith the Lord, where is the bill of your mother's divorcement, whom I have put away? Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? Behold, for your iniquities I have ye sold yourselves.
So I'm saying it's our fault. That's I just wanted to make that point and make sure I really made that point. It's our fault. And that's what they're talking about in Second Esdras. But a lot of our people would like to blame the Most High. And really, we have to understand, even though he wrote it from the beginning, it's still something we done, right? Get that in, let me get Sirach 11. Give me Sirach 11. 15. 15 and 16.
This is a book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 15. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Lord.
See, that's of the Most High, right? If we could just stick with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law, we'll be in the Most High, right? We'll be in Yahweh. We'll be in the Lord. Read.
Love and the way of good works are from him.
God.
Verse 16. Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners, and evil shall wax old with them that glory therein.
So we sold ourselves because all that wickedness and all that evil and all the garbage that we were involved in, and to this day that we're caught up in. I mean, we had a big Easter rebuke. Check us out. We in Pomona on 2nd Street at the Fox Theater. Long Beach Sicari is in Pomona on Sundays, right? And this past Sunday just happened to be the Easter celebration that all of our pagan people dabble in, right? Let me tell you, nobody is making people go out and paint eggs. Nobody's putting a gun to your head. Our people choose to teach these traditions to their kids. Our people choose to get up and follow these traditions. These wicked, evil inventions started with us. We started doing it. That's how it got in our house. Somebody might have came and influenced the person who's doing it, but that adult grew up and they decided to carry those traditions. I'm not the first person to learn that Easter is based on a fertility goddess, right? That's the same goddess that got your sister dancing in the strip club. She on a pole to that same goddess, right? So when we grow up and we learn these things and we say, damn, some of the concepts and the traditions we were taught as kids are foolish, it's on us to make a decision to say, I'm gonna cut that out. I'm not gonna do that no more. But if you're still doing it, you can't blame God and say, well, he made me a Easter traditionalist. You have to understand that's the wickedness you were caught up in. You know what I'm saying? That's the wickedness you brought. Get James 1. James verse 13. Yeah, 1 and 13. You got a couple of chapters. Read verse 13. You know, read 13 to 15. Let's go.
This book of James, chapter 1, verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man.
Right? So, you know, just understand that when you choose to do something wicked, that's something you wickedly chose to do. Stop blaming the Most High for the wickedness that you choose to do. We got to come up out of that. We got to be better than that. Read.
Verse 14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 15. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
And that's how we get kicked out of the land. That's why our bodies is laid out all over the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because we are wicked, sinful people. All we have to do is realize that it was already said we was going to go through this prophetically. We were told, if you don't live lawful, then you will be exiled out the land and you will go everywhere to die. See how it works? It's crazy. 1 John 3:9. You got to understand, we did this to ourselves. We were given instruction from the prophets, right? The Most High always send us good counsel from the prophets. He sent us commands from the prophets. And they spoke with us prophetically. They have given us ample enough time to get our stuff together. But for whatever reason, we don't. But, you know, one day, Israel will be back on top and will be delivered. And those of us who can't get our stuff together will have to die by fire. And you'll still get the kingdom because it was a promise. But you won't inherit the kingdom because you'll have to die by fire. Read that.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 9. Whosoever is born of God doeth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him.
See, if you're born of God and his seed is in you, then you're not sinning. Read.
And he cannot sin because he is born of God.
It's really that simple. You know what I'm saying? So when we're born again, not by crawling carnally back into our mother's womb to get pushed back out, but when you're born of God, right, then you start to walk different. You start to talk different. You start to see yourself blossom and grow. If you one of them brothers who's falling off a lot, check yourself. We get in these groups and we actually gather ourselves together, right? So that we can be held accountable. That's the beauty of brotherhood. You should have men around you, men and women actually, right? You should have Israelites around you keeping you honest. Because if you don't, then you're just wasting your time. You're just a person who knows they're Israelite. That's a fool. How you gonna come to the knowledge and to the wisdom and to the awakening just to go hide off in the corner and shut your eyes real tight? Be accountable. We trying to do these works for this nation to grow. We getting up out of here. That's the goal. But back to this prophecy. Second Ezra. Get the third verse. We'll get up on Second Ezra 2. Let's get that third verse.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 2, verse 3. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you. For ye have sinned before the Lord your God, and done that thing that is evil before him.
See? The Most High, he brought us out the land of Egypt gladly. He delivered us. It was, you know what I'm saying? It brought him joy. But you got to understand, we did the thing that was evil before his eye. We're the ones who went and sacrificed our kids to Molech. We're the ones who went and served and worshiped Baal on the rooftops. We're the ones who brought the idols into the temple. Come on, that was what we did. The Most High didn't do that for us. We did that in rebellion to him. See how that worked? So you got to understand that, look, the Most High was glad to deliver us from our enemies, right? Get that in Psalms 105. Get the 43rd verse. Y'all got to understand. We're wicked people, Israel. I ain't even gonna lie. Even to this day, you see niggas riding around with that evil eye. That's an idol. Crosses and crucifixes. Every chance they get, our people is putting up some sort of weirdo idol. Get that?
Psalm what?
105. Verse 43. Matter of fact, you got it. Get the first verse. Let's get the first verse first.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 105 from the top. Give thanks unto the Lord. Call upon his name. Make known his deeds among the people.
Right, now jump down to 43. So saying, give praise to Yahweh. Make known his deeds among the people. I'm going to tell you, he told us the end from the beginning. Who else does that? See what I'm saying? That's what we got. We got one of those. You know what I'm saying? That's our power. You can't go nowhere else and get that. The Most High gave us the end. He told us this from the beginning. That's magnificent. You got to show me where else they do that at. Get 43.
Verse 43. And he brought forth his people with joy, and his chosen with gladness.
See, that's what it was talking about in 2nd Ezra. He gladly brought us out. Let me tell you, he delivered us happily. He happily delivered us. He gonna deliver Israel again. See what I'm saying? We don't even deserve it as a whole nation. That's why it behooves those of us who are striving towards the kingdom to be those lights. Don't hide your light under a bed. Let's go out there and shine for our people and see who wants to jump on this type of momentum. Who's trying to get down with this wave? Let's get some prophecy though. Let's get 2nd Ezra 5. And the reason I even brought all this up was to say, our God is a God of prophecy. We have the spirit of Yahushua, which is prophecy. We teach prophecy. Yes, we teach the law. The law is the biggest part of our culture, our real culture. But prophecy is the proof that we're actually those ones. Because growing up in a Christian church, you hear some crazy prophecies. They're waiting for a dragon to fly out the sky with 7 heads. They're waiting for a guy, the Antichrist, to come and subdue the world and do the hocus pocus, right? But there are antichrists right now. Right now, there are antichrists teaching their message. Every time a Muslim says Yahushua didn't die for the sins of his people, and they did a switcheroo, that's an antichrist. Read that, 42, verse 42.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, verse 42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first.
Let me tell you, it's all in his time. Judgment is like unto a ring. What goes around comes around, right? He designed it like that. It's gonna all come full circle. Right now, we're at the bottom. Esau is living it up in his kingdom. Eventually, Esau will be placed on the bottom. He'll build our kingdom, and then he won't exist no more, right? What's that? 2nd Ezra 6. Start at verse 7. See, we're going to be used to put them out of commission. Judgment is like a ring. See what I'm saying? We're gonna have our day in the sun. Right now, it's not so good for us. One day, we'll be all right.
It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 7. Then he answered, Then answered I and said, what shall the parting asunder of the times? Slakia. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
So what shall be the dividing of the times? What's the big change gonna be like, right? Read.
Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth?
Right, because we're in an existence. We're in a world, right? We're in an age. We're in a time. So when is it gonna flip? What's the flip gonna look like? Read.
Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
That is a prophecy, right? That's the point. That's a prophecy. Christianity is telling you not to even go into the Old Testament. It's just littered with prophecy all throughout the book. Read.
Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And our beloved brothers in Christianity can't even break down these scriptures because they've already put up too many barriers. They'll tell you that Esau doesn't even exist anymore because Obadiah was fulfilled. Their preterist view of Obadiah is why they couldn't even break down this prophecy. See what I'm saying? Esau is the end of the world. We know who's in rulership. We know who's running things. The so-called white man been running things for a long time now, right? He took a little break in between the fall of Rome and then the revitalization of the the new revised Roman Empire, right?
The Renaissance.
This modern state of Rome. They rebuilt in the Renaissance, but you have to understand that we can just look through the book and see these things clearly. That Esau is the end, Jacob is that which follows, which is cold. That's why they have to say they're spiritual Israel, right? Because all throughout the Old Testament, all throughout the New Testament, the so-called Old and New Testament, salvation is for Israel. Nobody can defeat that point that's made by Yahushua, right? Nobody can beat that. Salvation is for Israel. So they got to put all these spins on it. But when you just look at it in plain practical application, Esau is the end, Jacob is the beginning of the new world. That means the kingdom is just for Jacob. We even know that because when the Gentiles start to come to learn of God, when you read in Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah 30, and it starts talking about the new covenant. All that is for Judah and Israel. So they're not going to be involved in that new world to come. They're going to get built up after that's already established. It has the establishment of the kingdom has nothing to do with them. It didn't say I seen a new world coming out of the sky. It said it seen a new Jerusalem coming out the sky, right? A new kingdom of Israel coming out the sky. That was it on that. Come to Ezekiel 25:14. I'll wrap that point. Jacob is the end, and we know in Obadiah tell us that we're gonna have a good old time, right? We're gonna have a good old time with getting our kingdom back, defeating our enemies. What you talking about?
It's weird how Esau will make all kind of movies about the Bible,
Right.
but he never digs into who Edom is. You know what I mean?
That's serious. They don't even put that anything dealing with Edom in his biblical movies.
And you would think he would, because that's a superhero type plot, ain't it?
Listen, you're right, but look, they would have to literally have fully red makeup on the characters playing Esau, right? Because they would have to explain it.
They have to figure out who would be
Who's the red?
You know,
The avatar.
you know how Esau brings in him, injects himself in the story is through their mythology. They turn Esau into Hercules. You see what I'm saying? They turn the angels into the zodiacs. You see what I'm saying? Because they're carnal. They can't deal spiritually. They got to have something tangible.
So you're saying everything you're saying the Bible is spiritual.
Yeah.
Even the trees. Even the regular tree.
Circumcision.
Now they take that Greco-Roman mythology and repackage biblical concepts. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're that Ezekiel 25 and 14.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25 and verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people.
That's it right there, right? I just wanted y'all to see that. Vengeance will be laid on Edom by the hand of his people, right? Now go up to 12. I do that sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I do that. I just wanted to make that. I will lay my vengeance on Edom by the hand of my people. That's beautiful, right? That's prophecy. Why the Christian church not bringing it out? Our whole belief system, our whole understanding of the Bible is based on prophecy that we can just bring up in any exchange that we have. These people are limited to the Bible verses they can pull. We know they wrestle with Paul's writings, but that don't stop them from going to Paul's writings strictly. You know what I'm saying? They love bringing out them same 3-4 verses. That's why it don't be a long dialogue. It should be a lot of jabber jaw. You know what I'm saying? But it's no Bible coming out. There's no cohesion from the beginning to the end of the book. They want you to start in the the table of contents? That's in the beginning, the glossary. They want you to start with the appendix. The appendix. They want you to start at the end of the book. What's this? You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. Get it from 12.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25, verse 12. Thus saith the Lord God, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them.
Listen, we've been done bad by everybody in the whole wide world. Ain't nobody done us like the so-called white man is consistently doing us. Nobody. They have venged themselves on us time and time again. When you wake up in the morning, just know somewhere in the world, your people are at that moment more than likely being done wrong by their enemy in an actual individual application. Not to mention the world we live in is designed by their hand to cripple and oppress us always. Read.
Verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword.
All throughout the lands of Edom, in all his habitations, right? They will be getting destroyed. Read.
Verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people, Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God.
See what I'm saying? Our people will do in Esau's lands according to Yahweh's vengeance. And if you don't know what that looks like, I urge you to read Obadiah, because it's going to be brutal, and they're going to get burnt all the way out, off the face of the earth. And that is the patience and the faith of the saints, right? That's what we're waiting for. That's what we look forward to. Real quick, let's get Matthew 13. 28.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 28. He said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up?
Slovakia, get 27.
Verse 27. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares?
So this is getting into the conclusion of the parable of the wheat and the tares, right? So these tares showed up and they like, dang, didn't you sow good fruit amongst your field? We the fruit. See what I'm saying? We the fruit. So hey, ain't this good fruit that sprung up? And they read it.
Verse 28. He said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servants said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up?
But he said,
So, verse 29. But he said, nay, least while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Verse 30. Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them.
yikes. So that's what's going to happen to the tares eventually. They're going to be burned, and they're going to be burned in that place where all the little wicked niggas is going to get gathered up from around the earth and thrown and burned, right? That's a prophecy. That's a parable of a prophecy, right? Of the reaper of the harvest. See what I'm saying? When they come for that cluster, it's going to be a wrap. That's the point. Prophecy. If you don't have prophecy, you don't understand what's going on in this Bible. That was the point of this mission today, was to bring out the necessity or the value of prophecy. Because without it, you just reading a story about a dude with a field who had a field, and then it was some bad seeds got mixed in, by some tricker.
Bad juju.
There's some bad juju in the field. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted to mess up his capital gains or whatever. You could put your own spin on it when you're just reading it literally. But when you know prophecy, you can make sense of these things. And when we can make it make sense, we can benefit our people. See what I'm saying? As long as we can make it make sense, is conducive for our upliftment. And that's what we need. Get Matthew 24. I should add you 38 and 39. But we just gonna keep going.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come.
And that is prophecy, right? This word is going to go out to the ends of the world, which it's doing. And then the end will come, because you got to understand this word is going out to the end of the world so that the elect can be sealed. Once we seal the election, then that's it. Once those men are sealed, Yahushua is coming. We're not waiting for Yahushua to come for us to get right. You know what I'm saying? Oh. That's right, Tasarab. Hey, that's a good brother right there. Shalom, huh? If you ain't got prophecies down, you's a buster. Look. That's what we do. That's how we fight. It's people out here telling us to go and have a shootout with the so-called white man. That is tomfoolery. They drop bombs. Listen, the Most High is going to exterminate Babylon with day weapons. See how that works? We're not trying to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, brothers should be armed and protect your homes. It's going to be a lot of chaos in these streets, a lot of rioting, a lot of reveling, a lot of rabble rousing. All that type of stuff is going to be going on. But we're not going to win our salvation. We're not going to gain freedom by going and having shootouts with our enemies. We're going to earn our freedom through diligently serving, right? We're going to earn our freedom by holding fast to that what we have until the end. And then we'll be saved.
Yeah,
That's what it's about.
Yeah, so like if those people that go on crash tests, those crash test dummies, you know, their name is written in the earth.
They're written in the earth. For real though.
Because they're not enduring to the end.
Huh.
And vengeance is mine, said the Lord.
Right.
That don't mean an individual person go out and do some dumb stuff. When he put the spirit on his nation and put in that work, the spirit is going to be on the nation. You know what I'm saying? On those, on a bulk of people to put in that work. You know what I'm saying? Not no women.
Yeah, that's right. The men. That's why he's sealing 12,000 men from these various tribes, right?
Yeah.
Facts. Let's get that Psalm 137. I like that one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I like that one. You know what I'm saying? Read the first verse. Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 137 from the top. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remember Zion.
We weeping now. Sarge's favorite song. He might not sing it.
He
He might not
so
sing
bad.
it. He might not sing it.
Carry us away,
Like he never heard the song.
Hey, carry us away, captivity.
He swear he measuring what?
Required from
Geechee
us
come
a
out
song.
every now and again. It show his face. That's our brother Yazzie, y'all. If y'all don't know, they know. Read.
Verse 2. We hang our hearts upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song.
Mm-hmm.
And they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. Verse 4. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
See, we're going to learn the Lord's song. Well, those of us who make it to be of the election, right? We'll learn a new song. But how you going to learn the Lord's song in a strange land when you singing a song of Baalium, right? You're singing a song of Baalium in America. How you going to learn the Lord's song, right? Read.
Verse 5. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning.
Yeah. If you forget where you from, then you ain't got no skills, right? If I forget where I'm from, let me not even have it. You know what I'm saying? That's the equivalent of that. Read.
Verse 6. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth.
Right. Let me sound like a dummy, right? Because it all revolves around us being us. Going out to emulate and imitate and follow after the ways of our enemies causes us to be the nigga whose tongue is stuck to the roof of his mouth. You just out there babbling. You sound like Bishop T.D. Jakes. If you forgot you was an Israelite, see what I'm saying? You sound like Pastor Tony Evans, which I think that would be a good debate because he's to me he's a slick Christian. I like those type of Christians because I think those are good matches. Like it's crazy when we wash certain Christians. It looks weak. It looks like we're picking on people. I believe brothers like Tony Evans, they try to get in those pockets. Like they have little cunning ways to attack it. Because on one hand, he'll say he's an Israelite, but then on the other hand, he'll make it a metaphor. But he'll try to at least, throw some charisma in there. He'll give you something to fight. But keep going.
If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem.
Right.
Who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Yeah, because they blocked our way. Remember, we'll never forget that they blocked our path. We was just trying to mind our own business. And they wanted to destroy us. They said, burn down our temple. I know I'm convoluted, but it'll make sense later. Read.
Verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Verse 9, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
See, that's the spirit that Sarge was just talking about. That's the spirit that's going to be placed above our people. That's going to be put on our people. The spirit to dash their little ones against the stones, right? We're going to be ready for war, for the extermination in that day. We're going to be ready to conquer as that conquering lion, to not be docile, not to be merciful, straight with the war. But I got a game of Prophesy on the board too. Get that over that 110. Let's do it. 10th verse over that. Because Esau has a recompense coming. Let me tell you. And he can't escape it. There ain't no way about it. Esau has a real recompense coming. And all we have to do is just walk uprightly. That's all we got to do. And they'll receive their recompense. We don't need to get off the path. We don't need to color outside the lines. All we need to do is learn these laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep the faith in who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. That's all we got to do. We know he died for our sins. Since we know he died for our sins, it don't matter what you was on. Just learn these laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep these holy convocations. Keep these feast days. That's all we got to do, Israel. It's time for us to walk uprightly so we can get our day in the sun. It's time for us to be laid up. Read that.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
See, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. This is prophecy. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, right? Shame shall cover thee. Read that again. You read it. You read it. You did a good job.
Book Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
And thou shalt be cut off forever. That's why they say it already happened. But it didn't already happen. That's the point. That's what we come out to prove. Esau is still around because Esau got prophecies in the end. How is Esau? How the hell has Esau already been wiped out? And Paul is talking about Esau. See how that work? How is Herod the Tetrarch, Idumean, and the Edomites been wiped out
Since Obadiah.
Since Obadiah, right. Come on, man. That it doesn't make sense. So that's what we do is just try to get people to think reasonably. You know what I'm saying? But hey, go back to Psalms 137 about Geshah, verse 7. Read that again.
Okay, so.
Come.
Book of Psalms, chapter 137, and verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation thereof.
So they said, raise it. They burned down our temple, right? Get that in First Ezra 44 and 45.
This is the book of First Ezra, chapter 4, verse 35.
45.
45. Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple, which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans.
So see, when these wicked Babylonians whooped our ass one time, right? Esau took advantage of that and burned down our temple. So the Most High is going to even pay them for that. See how that work? They even got that recompense coming. So just know, no matter how many millennia and eons, whatever it takes, the Most High has always made right on his word. The Most High has always made right on his promises. He promised to give us the kingdom. He promised to pay our enemies with a sore vengeance, right? And that's the value of prophecy, because without it, these kooky church houses will have us mixed up. I got family members, and I ain't even going to talk bad about them on this podcast, but I just want to say they ran up a hill and took some pictures in front of a cross, and I didn't like it. So I'm saying I didn't like it. What are y'all doing? Y'all got to come up out of that, because there is no life in that, right? What does I say? They in that life where there's no life, right? So we have to remember prophecy can hold us. As long as we know these prophecies, they can't come and trick us with the lies, with the petty doctrines. Let's hold fast to what we got. And that's these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's this word of truth. And with that, I want to give call the law Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai. We love y'all. Shalom.
I'll tell them one.
Look, I'm Shalom.
What's up, Israel? I just want to say, the power deacon, his lesson earlier, he shared with everybody that he's having a princess. All praises to the Most High for that. I just wanted to, and then we also seen on Instagram that Chief just had his son, named his son Griffin. You know what I'm saying? And he got a daughter on the way, I believe. I just wanted to share with y'all, be it SGT, I have my daughter as of it was, I think, Saturday morning.
Late Sunday night. Or early Saturday, late Sunday. Like midnight.
Late Saturday, early Sunday, yeah. Yeah. She was born at like 12:35 a.m. Yeah. My daughter's name is man. You know what I'm saying? At the water, my daughter's name is Zion. You know what I'm saying? I figured I give it that thug stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's just another blessing. Brother had some rocky times in the past, and even with my son, I haven't seen him for over a year now, and it's just the Most High just be working like this, where people think they're gonna do something and come against you, and then the Most High tells you, if you stick with me, I'm gonna give you everything 100-fold. So, I started late as sugar honey iced tea in this world. I had my first child at 36. I'm about to be 39. So I'm just thankful that the Most High gave me a little woman, and we produced a princess. And all praises to the Most High for that. But I wanted to just share that with y'all. I don't really post like that too much on my social media and stuff like that. Same reasons as Deacon. You know what I'm saying? Too many haters out there. You can't trust too much. A lot of people, a lot of people look into they don't look at your stuff because they're happy for you. They look at your stuff to gossip and and be wicked and such, right? But I just wanted to share that with y'all. There's a law about showing love to daughters and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So the cash app is at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna end it like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
If y'all show love, show love. If not, it doesn't really make a difference to me because I still love y'all. And that's why I got these officers doing this work and even suspended soldiers. You know what I'm saying? We do this stuff because we love y'all. All right. With that, I want to say shalom.
Shalom.